Michael and Paul Hayden's childhood was full of thrilling adventures, mostly centered around a special cave in Coss Canyon. This cave wasn't just any old hole in the ground for the Hayden kids, it was a world of fun and mystery. During hot California summers, it became their cool hideout. With 6 children in the family, they often needed a place to escape the heat, and this cave was perfect. The Hayden siblings would hike to the cave, excited to jump into the chilly waters inside. For them, the cave wasn't just rocks and water, it was a place where they made memories and let their imaginations soar. From the outside, the cave didn't look like much. The entrance was a small, dark opening near Lenta, California. It measured about 3 feet by 4 feet, hiding the vast world inside. To enter the cave, the Haydens had to crawl through a narrow 50-foot tunnel before reaching a slope that took them 30 feet deeper. Despite the tight entrance, the journey was worth it. Just 150 feet in, they would reach the flooded pool area, perfect for swimming and exploring dry ledges and holes. The cave's layout, with its deep water pools and connected tunnels, offered endless chances for adventure. As they got older, the Hayden brothers became more skilled and brave in their cave exploring. They had spent many hours swimming through the flooded parts of the cave, always trying to go a bit further. Their curiosity never stopped. They knew there was more to find beyond the paths they knew as kids. By the time they were adults, they wanted to explore even deeper into the cave. Paul especially had gained the skills for such daring cave exploring. After nearly 15 years as an Air Force pararescue instructor, he had become an excellent scuba diver. His job in the elite pararescue team required him to be ready for anything, and his careful planning and skills had made him well respected. On September 17, 2000, they decided to take on their biggest challenge yet. Paul wanted to check out some of the deeper, unknown parts of the cave. They hiked up to the entrance, carrying their scuba gear. At the pool area, Paul got ready for his dive. He attached his GoPro camera for light and made sure he had enough air for 2 hours underwater. Michael, always careful, chose to stay in the main cave. He would keep an eye on Paul's progress and watch the time. Even though they knew the cave well, it still felt mysterious and a bit scary. To stay in touch during the dive, the brothers had a simple but clever plan. They tied a rope to a rock in the main cave. Michael would tug the rope twice to check on Paul, and Paul would tug back to say he was okay. This way, they could talk even when they couldn't see each other. It made them feel safer in the dangerous cave. At first, everything seemed fine. Michael let out more rope as Paul went deeper into the cave. Paul kept tugging back, showing he was all right. But after about 20 minutes, something went wrong. Michael tugged the rope, but Paul didn't answer. He tried again, but the rope was stuck tight. Michael started to panic. He pulled as hard as he could, but the rope wouldn't move. He realized Paul might be in trouble, maybe stuck somewhere with only 90 minutes of air left.
Michael knew he had to act fast. He left the cave and ran to get help, every second feeling like it lasted forever. Michael burst into the Santa Clarita Sheriff's office, his voice shaking as he told them what happened. The Sheriff's Department knew it was serious and acted quickly. They called the LA County Sheriff's Department and the Montrose Search and Rescue Team. Using special vehicles, they raced across the rocky valley to the cave. They were all ready to do whatever it took to save Paul. When they got to the cave, they jumped into the water right away. They hoped they could still find Paul alive. The rescue team worked fast, knowing every minute counted. They searched the underwater tunnels, looking for any sign of Paul. The cave story that had started as an exciting adventure had turned into a tense rescue operation, with Paul's life hanging in the balance. Paul was excited to check out new parts of the cave he hadn't seen before. The cave wasn't just a natural hole, it was part of an old water well system from 1915. Over time, the cave had changed due to water erosion and man-made tunnels for getting water. This history made the cave more interesting, but also more dangerous. The old well shafts built to get water were now filled with dirt and rocks, making the place even more dangerous. As Paul swam through the front caves and tunnels, he got to one of the narrow well shafts. It was only 3 feet wide, barely enough room for Paul and his scuba gear. Using his camera light, Paul saw an air pocket at the top of the shaft, a shiny spot that showed there was air to breathe above. Even though Paul was good at scuba diving, he didn't know much about cave diving, which is much harder and riskier. His family said Paul usually used a lighter to check if the air was safe before taking out his breathing tube. But this time, he didn't do this important check, a big mistake that ended badly. Paul's GoPro recorded him coming up into the air pocket. The camera's light showed the shaft's walls as Paul took out his breathing tube to take a breath. But right away, something went very wrong. The video showed Paul going back under the water, not trying to put his breathing tube back in. He went limp and sank to the bottom of the shaft, not moving. Above, Michael waited nervously, not knowing his brother had already died in the dangerous cave. When Michael realized what happened, it hit him hard. Paul was gone, and there was nothing he could do to change it. The big question was, how could one breath of air be so deadly? The answer is in the air Paul breathed in. Usually, carbon dioxide is only 0.4% of the air we breathe, but in small spaces like caves, where gases from rotting stuff and water erosion build up, the amount of carbon dioxide can be really high. If the air in a closed space has more than 10% carbon dioxide, it can make you pass out right away. This happens because of carbon dioxide poisoning, which is fast and often deadly.
Normally, we breathe out carbon dioxide from our blood, but when there's way more CO2 in the air than in our blood, it goes the other way. This makes our blood get acidic really fast, causing a dangerous condition called respiratory acidosis. This all happens so quickly that the person can't do anything about it. In a factory, someone breathing in that much carbon dioxide might be saved and given oxygen, but underwater, it's much worse. When Paul passed out, his full air tank was useless. He just fell into the water, sinking to the bottom of the shaft. The sad part was that the skills and gear that had saved others before couldn't help Paul now. Michael, pulling hard on the rope that didn't move, had to face the heartbreaking truth that his brother was gone. This sad event shows how dangerous cave diving can be, even for people who are good at other kinds of diving. Paul Hayden wasn't just a great diver, he was a hero who'd spent his life saving others. But cave diving is risky and needs special training and a deep understanding of the unique challenges in caves. The Wanapanapa Caves in Hawaii are one of the coolest places to swim in the world. Every year, tons of tourists come to these calm waters, amazed by how beautiful and untouched they are. They're looking for an awesome adventure, but many don't know about the sad things that have happened in these caves. People love the caves because they're away from busy tourist spots and have lots of amazing natural sights. They're a hidden treasure for those who want to explore more of the island. The Wanapanapa Caves, tucked in this perfect setting, have warm, shallow waters surrounded by cool rock shapes. These quiet pools are great for relaxing and taking in the sights, but for the daring, they're an exciting challenge. The bravest visitors dive into the caves, eager to check out the underground passages and find hidden secrets. One of these brave explorers was Gregory Wilhelm, a 33-year-old outdoor lover from Novato, California. Gregory had loved nature since he was a kid. He spent loads of time hiking, camping, and going on road trips, always looking for new places to explore. His love for the outdoors grew even more during his time in Boy Scouts and summer camp programs. There, he learned to really appreciate nature and made great friends along the way. On January 29, 2017, a sunny Sunday afternoon, Gregory was in Hana, Maui, with 3 of his buddies. They'd been swimming and chilling in Wanapanapa State Park, enjoying the beautiful surroundings. Later that day, they decided to kick it up a notch and explore the nearby caves. We're not sure if they planned this or just decided on the spot, but they didn't have proper diving gear. This suggests they might not have fully understood how risky it could be.
Like many others before them, the group jumped into the cool water near the cave entrance. They enjoyed the refreshing dip while keeping an eye on the light coming in from above. The calm water and beautiful surroundings made it easy to forget about possible dangers below. The The caves look inviting, but they're known for being confusing with twisty passages and water levels that can change quickly. But the thrill of exploring often beats caution, and Gregory, driven by his adventurous spirit, decided to swim deeper into the cave. Gregory and his buddy went deeper into the cave, leaving the two girls at the entrance. They only had a phone light in a plastic bag to see. This showed they weren't really ready for what was ahead, but that they were excited to explore, so they kept going into the unknown. As they went further, the water got higher, up to their waists. They came to a big rock blocking the way. Under it was a deep spot where experienced divers like to go. Gregory and his friend didn't have diving gear, but they decided to take a quick dive anyway. They planned to come up after a minute, but they quickly saw the water was much deeper than they thought, and it was super dark all around. Even though things looked scary, Gregory's curiosity won. He really wanted to see what was ahead. He always loved adventure. His friend got scared and swam back to safety. Gregory had gone too far into the cave, not knowing his friend had left. The darkness that seemed cool at first turned into a confusing maze. Gregory was now alone and in trouble. When Gregory finally knew he needed air, he got really scared. He couldn't tell which way was up in the pitch-black water. He started to panic as he looked for a way out. He was breathing faster and harder, trying to find the surface. In his crazy search, he found a small air pocket. It was a short break where he could breathe and think. This spot, usually underwater, gave him a moment to rest, but he knew he couldn't stay long. Back at the cave entrance, Gregory's friends were getting worried. The two girls felt something was wrong. They decided to look deeper in the cave. When they found Gregory's friend, he was freaking out and confused. He couldn't understand how Gregory had disappeared so fast in the water. Gregory's friend made a brave but scary choice. He decided to go back into the cave alone to find Gregory. He dove into the dark water again and again, hoping to find his friend. On his third try, he saw a small light far away in the black water. He swam as hard as he could towards it, his heart beating fast. As he got closer, the light got brighter. It was Gregory's phone light, still on in the plastic bag. But Gregory wasn't there. His friend felt awful. He had tried so hard but found nothing. Worried about his own safety, he quickly swam back to the cave entrance. The two women were waiting there. They grabbed the phone and ran out of the cave to call for help. The Hana Fire Department came fast. They called a rescue team to help look for Gregory, but finding him wasn't going to be easy. The Wanapanapa Caves are known for changing water levels and being super dark. Even good divers can get lost in there. Gregory was brave and strong, but the cave was too much for him that day. The rescue teams looked everywhere in the cave, hoping Gregory was still alive. Sadly, they couldn't find him in time. After searching for what felt like forever, they found his body deep in the cave, 75 feet down. Reports suggest Gregory got lost in a tight space full of rock and water. He couldn't tell which way to swim, making him panic with each try. He kept diving back and forth, but couldn't find a way out. Even for a smart guy who swam well, this was a tough spot. After what felt like forever, searching wildly, he saw a glimmer of hope, a passage ahead. But Greg's luck ran out. He picked the wrong path, making things worse. He tried to go back, but it was too late. Time was up, and he couldn't break free. Despite his brave efforts, he couldn't escape, and the darkness below swallowed him. When the rescue team found his body later, they saw that he had floated 75 feet deep into the cave. What happened that day shows how dangerous even beautiful places can be. Gregory Wilhelm's life ended too soon because of curiosity, bravery, and the dangerous nature of the Wanapanapa Caves. His story reminds us how risky it can be to explore unknown places. It's a warning for anyone who might want to do something similar.